That night, you find yourself nursing yet another headache. What exactly is up with those videos? And how come you can never seem to remember them? And that's not all. You've been feeling strange all day. Why did you do those things earlier? Working through the whole day, getting flustered in front of your boss? That wasn't like you. Just because she's pretty doesn't mean she can order you around. Tomorrow's the day you let her know, and no more watching those bizarre videos. Still, you can't shake the feeling that something is off. Every time you close your eyes, you see her smile. Every time you have a quiet moment, you think about how you would work hard to make her happy. You start to feel that you wouldn't mind working hard for her. You might even like it. Something is seriously wrong with you. Change of plan. You're definitely cooling out tomorrow and taking a day to clear your thoughts. As you brush your teeth and start heading to bed, you remember there's something you need to do first. You sit down at your desk, turn on your computer, and navigate to your work email. You have one unread message. It's from your boss. You wonder what she wants. You hover over it for a moment and then click open. The next day at work, you find yourself buried in a stack of papers. You're focusing very hard on the task at hand. You have a lot to get done after all. Your usual lunch group stops by, but they don't say anything. They simply look at you and exchange worried glances with each other before walking away. You cock an eyebrow and wonder, what was that all about? Whatever. You have to get back to work. Another co-worker of yours comes to tell you that your boss is requesting to see you in her office. You know you should be annoyed, but you really don't mind anymore. You're actually kind of excited to have another one-on-one meeting with someone as gorgeous as her. You finish what you're doing and head straight over to see her. Once again, you find her waiting for you at her desk, her hands folded and her legs crossed. She smiles and nods upon seeing you, gesturing for you to come and sit down. You try and hold it in, but you can't help but sheepishly return the smile and hurry over. You sit down, and the two of you observe each other in silence for a moment. You feel your heart rate quicken. You were wrong in your observation yesterday. She isn't beautiful or even stunning. She is absolutely breathtaking. Easily the most attractive woman you've ever laid eyes on. Her eyes, her lips, her hair. All of her features complement each other flawlessly, amounting to a statuesque picture of beauty with no equal. You gulp a little too loudly and begin to fidget nervously with your collar. Her lips curl into a smug, satisfied smirk, an expression of hers you haven't seen before. Like most things she does, seeing it makes you tingle with excitement. Finally, she speaks. Once again, I'm impressed with what I've seen. Your productivity has increased exponentially over the course of this last week. You reached my desired output and surpassed it. Even I wasn't expecting things to go this smoothly. You immediately feel a rush of dopamine upon hearing her words of praise, but something seems off. Did she just say, over the course of this last week? That can't be. It's only been a day since you last saw her. Maybe 2. Alarm bells start going off in your mind. Aren't you supposed to hate this woman? Why do you feel so desperate to please her? She notices your distress and furrows her brow in concern. I can see that something is troubling you. Whatever it is, pay it no mind. We've made excellent headway together. You're doing a good job for me. And with that, the alarm bells are silenced in an instant. The second you hear those words, any doubt or confusion you had subsides. Instead, you feel electricity moving down your spine and coursing throughout your entire body. You are so happy you were able to make her happy. You feel amazing knowing you've done a good job for her. Her smirk widens. Such a strong reaction. Your conditioning has been going very smoothly. A few more sessions like this, and your conversion into a perfect, obedient worker for me will be complete. I don't think I need to tell you what happens next. Conditioning? What is she talking about? Well, you don't mind as long as you can keep feeling this good. She turns her screen to face you. She doesn't have to say a word. You know to look right at it. She lets out what sounds like a chuckle, but you aren't sure, because just a moment later, you are whisked away into that familiar white void. That night, you find yourself drifting on cloud 9. You are so excited to continue working hard for your mistress. You are so happy you were able to hear words of affirmation from her earlier. You haven't felt this good in a while. But a few things won't stop nagging at the back of your mind. Questions with no apparent answers. Why this sudden change of perspective? Just what are those videos she keeps showing you, and how come you never remember them? And for God's sake, when did you start thinking of your boss as your mistress? No, something is clearly horribly wrong. You have to shake this feeling of euphoria and remember. Remember anything. Come on, think. That's it. Those emails from your boss. You've been looking at them every night before bed, but just like the videos, you can never seem to remember the contents. Whatever the truth is, you're sure those emails contain the answers you're looking for. You rush over to your computer and navigate to your work email. Sure enough, you have an unread message. It's from her. You still yourself. No matter what, you're not going to forget what you see in this email. This will settle everything. You take a deep breath, hover over it for a moment, and then click. Open. For a few heartbeats, nothing happens. You wonder if something is wrong, and suddenly, a video pops up on the screen. It's your boss. She's wearing her usual work attire and looking directly into the camera. The background is hard to make out. It's as though every time you look at it, it shifts into a new shape and color. Your head begins to spin. You turn your focus back on her. She's staring blankly and she isn't moving a muscle. There's something different about her, but you can't put your finger on it. Even when you look into her eyes. Are there spirals in them? And just what is that droning noise you keep hearing? Oh God, you start to feel uneasy. You have a strong sense that you should look away now before it's too late. But you can't look away. You can't pry your eyes away from the screen. You are utterly fixated on her spiral eyes and the shifting patterns behind her. So pretty. You can't even think straight anymore. As you relax more and more, your boss opens her mouth to say something. Everything for the company. In response, your lips begin to move. They do so automatically, as if you had no control over them at all. You repeat the words back. Everything for the company. You don't remember ever speaking these words before tonight, but it feels as though you've been rehearsing them all your life. She speaks again. My boss is so beautiful. And once again you repeat her words, but you aren't just repeating them. You believe them right down to your very soul. And that's when it dawns on you, and you remember everything all at once. This isn't the first time you've done this. You've done this countless times already. Every night for weeks now. Has it been months? And each time you do, you sink just a little deeper under her control. Yet again she speaks, and you repeat, "I want to do a good job for my boss." And you do. With every fiber of your being, you want to do a good job for her. You want to please her. You want to obey her. You don't care if there's no coming back from this. You want to do a good job for her. You need to do a good job for her. You need it more than anything. Nothing else matters. Just her, and doing everything in your power to make her happy. You know that if this continues, you'll end up as nothing but a mindless drone for her. But that doesn't seem so bad now. It sounds amazing, actually. You want it more than anything. So, you submit to your fate. Submit to her. You fully accept what is happening. You are being brainwashed, and you couldn't be happier about it. There is no point in resisting. You don't want to resist. You want to do a good job for your boss. The next morning, you wake up before your alarm sounds. Your headache is finally gone and your thoughts are clear. You remember everything and you know exactly what you have to do. You eat a light breakfast and begin preparing for the day. You leave home and arrive at the office half an hour early. You get to work straight away. There isn't a moment to waste after all. You need to do a good job for her. Before you know it, hours have passed and the day is halfway over. You were concentrating so hard that you didn't notice the time go by at all. Just then, you hear a sound that makes you perk up. A sound you know all too well, and one that makes your body shudder with anticipation. You look up from your desk for the first time today. Sure enough, there she is, your mistress. Her face again wears a satisfied smirk. But unlike yesterday, she's making no attempt to conceal it. She is so perfect in every way. Even the mere sight of her is enough to make your heart skip several beats. You do your best to keep your composure and wait to see what she wants. I'm very pleased with this development. To see you working so diligently with no signs of stopping. Once more, your progress is nothing short of astounding. And I saw you got my email last night as well. Excellent. I take it I can expect this level of commitment from you every day going forward? You nod eagerly. You would do anything to make her happy. In that sense, you're already committed. Good. In that case, I have a favor to ask you. Would you be able to work a bit of overtime for me today? I need a few people on this project that's due tomorrow. It's going to be a long one. It might even turn into an all-nighter. Are you up to the task? You smile and give her another enthusiastic nod. Your heart races with excitement at the prospect of an opportunity to work hard for your mistress and please her even more. Good. Very good. And to think you were so uncooperative when we first met. I'm very proud of the hard worker you've grown into. Very proud. With that, she takes a step forward and begins to lean in. Before long, her face is level with yours. She is so close. Your noses are almost touching now. You try to swallow, but your mouth is entirely dry. Her smile subsides as she parts her lips ever so slightly. She leans forward even closer. Wait, is she going in for a kiss? You are completely overwhelmed at the thought. You try and prepare yourself as best as you can. Thick beads of sweat roll down your flushed cheeks as she inches nearer. Your heart feels like it's about to explode. At the last possible second, her lips veer in a different direction, past your own quivering ones. Her soft hair gently brushes against your ear as she whispers, "You're doing a good job for me." Fireworks. As soon as you hear those words, your entire body is overcome with happiness. With one sentence, she has brought you elevation like you've never felt before. It's too much for you to handle. Instinctively, you fall to your knees in reverence and prepare to bow your head low before her. She clicks her teeth and gestures for you to get up. My, how inappropriate. On your feet. There will be plenty of time for that later. Besides, you've still got a lot of work to do. Perhaps, if you do a really good job for me, you can visit my office later. I'll give you a lesson in proper workplace etiquette. But for now, I need you to focus. You get back to work immediately. You obey her commands as naturally as you breathe. There's no conscious tool involved at all. And the idea of being rewarded by her personally, nothing could motivate you more. Once she's sure that you're working again, she shoots one more smug smile your way and turns to leave. The familiar clicking slowly fades as she marches back towards her office. You're sad to see her go, but there's no time to linger on that. You need to work hard so your mistress will reward you. Hours go by that feel like seconds. You work late into the night just as she requested, but you don't feel tired at all. All you feel is the need to do a good job for your mistress. At some point it occurs to you that this will most likely be your daily routine going forward, working tirelessly from dusk till dawn, all at her instruction. Maybe the realization should have bothered you, but all you feel is gratitude. You love your mistress. Just being in her presence is more than you could ever ask for. And now, you get the privilege of working hard for her and seeing her smile every day. Yep, that settles it. You have a pretty good thing at your job.